actually have brakes, boys. Today, what I'm going to be doing is replacing our stock go-kart BrakeMaster cylinder with a BrakeMaster off of an Rzr 1000. So we'll be able to see if that Polaris BrakeMaster cylinder is going to be that much more effective over these standard Chinese, go-kart type master cylinders. So stick around. This is a combination BrakeMaster cylinder, meaning a lot of go-karts, some side-by-sides will use these quads. It has this hookup here for brake lights. It's, I guess, just like a pressure switch. It has two outputs for the front brakes and it has one for the rear. Okay, so this is the unit. It's rather small. You can see that these piston sizes appear to be less than half an inch, maybe half an inch. I'm gonna say less than half an inch though. So you would think that you would get a good pressure ratio. So I hope I don't actually lose braking power by making a switch, because what I have decided to upgrade to is this. This is right directly off, I think it's an Rzr 1000. Pretty sure these are half-inch pistons in these. So you can see physically those chamber sizes, those piston sizes are dramatically different. So I don't know if that means that I'm going to lose my braking force, or it could just be that this is a good unit and this is a garbage unit, and even though it's got these small little cylinders, it's just not producing much hydraulic PSI, and that's why I don't have very good brakes. But that's the unit. I see them on go-karts, I see them on these type of machines, these larger 800 and 1000 cc Chinese machines. I see them on quads. I've seen a few of these on side-by-sides. They're really pretty common, and they have two separate pistons. One goes to the back, one goes to the front, and the benefit of that system is that is an adjustable system in itself. You can adjust how much tension you want on the front brakes versus the rear brakes. I was hesitant to switch over to this style of design because now I don't have adjustability between front and rear braking. There are some things that I can do to change that down the road, but for now, I'm just going to roll with what it is and hope that I get more pressure on the front than I do on the rear. This one has a double banjo bolt here. I'm guessing that will go to the front, and then it's got one for the rear here, just a single banjo. Hopefully I will get some more braking force out of this style of system. A couple of drawbacks though is that I don't have the pressure switch right in like I do with the old one. The brake pressure switch is right in the side of it, so I'm going to have to go to some other type of external brake sensor switch on the actual pedal itself. And then the other thing too that I was a little concerned about is there's no adjustability from front to rear. It's kind of whatever it gives me, it gives me. You can see the bore size is about, I don't know, about 2/3 the size of the old bore size to the new bore size. So whereas we're moving more fluid with the new Rzr brake system, we don't have as high a pressure with the old system. However, because this old cylinder was bottoming out and blowing through the entire stroke, I think in the end this cylinder, even though it doesn't have the same pressure, is actually going to apply more force to our calipers. And consequently, going to apply more forces to our brakey patties. Maximum brakey patties equal maximum stoppy whoppies. You can see how much stroke we have when I bring you over to the side here. The end of the stroke is basically when the back of this hits the frame here. That would be the maximum stroke. So previously, this thing would depress all the way down and would hit the frame there. I couldn't get any more stroke out of that old BrakeMaster cylinder. So as where I'm having to apply more force to the actual pedal, in the end, I think it will produce more braking force overall. This is one of the rear cross members. To wedge this little guy in. All right, so here's the issue I'm running into here. If you guys remember, I put some upgraded rotors and pads or calipers on the rear. Rear are nice and stiff. The front, that's how hard it is to turn the front. The rear is about twice as difficult to turn. So, I don't want to run it like that. Now, one thing I'm thinking about trying here, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna switch the front here with the rear. I'm gonna swap these lines. So I'm gonna put the longer banjo in the back and the rear brakes will come up to the front. And hopefully that means I will create a higher pressure back here than this one up here. And that should give me greater braking force on the front than on the rear, which is really what you need because most of your braking force is happening up front. So let's try that and see if it's improved. All right, we're doing much better. Oof. Rear feels good. All right, so I was just about to order a proportioning valve, which is just a valve that will take some of the pressure off the rears and direct it to the front. As you can see, the rears are well locked up, but also the fronts are really well locked up, so that is perfect. I had a day off, so I knew I had to get out here to the forest and get a little bit of tuning done and show you guys what the finished brakes are like now that I've got this Rzr Brake Master cylinder in place. Let's see how this steering is working out. Not nearly as sketchy. It was so sketchy for so long. Actually have brakes, boys. Look at that. I would say that Brake Master is working. I've never had my brakes, I've never had these tires lock up before. Look at that. That is so nice. Alright, look out all you guys with your hopped up Rzrs. I got steering and brakes now. And hard braking. Yes! We got brakes, boys. Yes! Mission accomplished. This thing actually starts to stop now. I guess swapping those two banjo bolts, for whatever reason, really did make a difference. If you are trying to get your braking perfect from front to rear, meaning that your fronts apply harder than your rears do, then you can use a proportioning valve to adjust that front to rear. But for right now, these feel perfect, and it actually just stopped right now harder than it's ever stopped before, and I wasn't using full braking force. So that's going to do it for me. Thanks for watching Dirt Gear TV. Remember, if you want to pick up some Dirt Gear merch, like this shirt here, I'll leave a link below for t-shirts, hoodies, and some other good stuff. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.